Welcome back to my walkthrough for Final Fantasy IX, my friends. We are standing inside Memoria, and during this segment we will start by battling an optional boss called Hades. Hades is pretty much a weaker version of Ozma, so if you defeated Ozma you shouldn't have any issues against Hades. He uses a lot of the same attacks, so once again you'll want to have the clear-headed, the antibody and the clear eyes abilities equipped, because that will reduce the damage that the spell curse can inflict. You won't be protected against everything, but your characters at least won't enter the confused status, and that will make your life easier. You can also have the Devil Killer and Bird Killer abilities equipped, because that way if you attack Hades with physical attacks you'll deliver extra damage, since he is considered a flying monster and a devil. And you can protect yourself against Doomsday by equipping items that absorb shadow element magic. So a ninja gear for Amaranth and Zidane will work just fine. For all the mage characters use a Pumice Kiss, and for Freya and Steiner use the Demon's Mail. All of those pieces of equipment will absorb shadow magic, so that will make Doomsday heal you instead of delivering damage, even though Doomsday will heal Hades, unlike with Ozma, where Ozma also took damage from Doomsday, Hades will absorb that damage. But we'll get the opportunity to open a synthetist shop in Memoria if we defeat Hades, even though we really don't need anything from him. So Hades is hiding behind those rocks, so we're going to challenge him right now. And I'm just double checking that I have all the required abilities, but we're good, so let's get through here. And he's somewhere around here. There should be an exclamation point. Guess I have to use the marker. There we go. So here we go, the boss battle against Hades. As you can see, the boss battle team is a little bit different. And Hades, once he finds out that you defeated Ozma, he starts questioning himself, which I think is very funny. But he still wants to fight, so we're going to give him said fight. I'm going to have Zidane steal, even though he doesn't have any items that I need. There's a small chance that you might be able to steal a Robe of Lords from him, but it's a very small chance, so I wouldn't really bother too much with it. So while Zidane steals, I'm just going to have all of the other characters attack. Once that countdown ends, he will probably use Curse, but I think I might be able to defeat him even before he uses it. Because both Freya and Cinna will deliver the maximum amount of damage. Amaranth with no mercy will also deliver heavy damage. And Zidane, even with Muggy, will deliver a little bit of damage. So in a couple of rounds this battle will be over. depending on the countdown that he uses, he will either use Doomsday or Curse, but unlike with Ozma, as you can see, it takes him a long time to launch an attack. So he really is a very simple opponent. In fact, I don't know if he will even survive past this round. And there we go, he didn't, so he's done for. As you can see, he wasn't hard to beat at all. And now, as a reward for defeating Hades, we will get to visit a new synthetist shop. And in this synthetist shop, we can get the Tin Armour done for Steiner. However, that means that you'll have to use up Cinna's hammer, and if you use the hammer, then you will miss out the opportunity to witness an extra cutscene during the ending of the game. So I'm not going to make the Tin Armour because I don't need it. You can also make a full pumice, which teaches Dagger the Arc Summon, but again, if you defeated Ozma, you already have one, so you don't need to worry about it. So let's leave Hades. I'm going to go back and switch my party members. So that everyone gets a chance to fight. As I said before in the previous segment, I want everyone to have their own little moment to shine, so this party will work well for now. I saved my game here, just so you know, but I cut it out because I needed a little break after defeating Hades, but as you saw, he really wasn't a tough opponent at all. And here we have a new enemy, and if you played Final Fantasy VII before, you should be familiar with this enemy. He likes to use Firaga, but we should finish him off in a couple of rounds. And by the way, I cut it out, but I gave both Vivi and Steiner a ribbon. I removed the ribbons from both Freya and Amaranth, and I gave them to Vivi and Steiner since they didn't have one. The next boss that we're going to face is called the Kraken. I know, how original, but the Kraken is really simple to defeat, so we shouldn't have too many issues. Hades was actually supposed to be the final boss in Final Fantasy IX. There's some concept art where he appears in the area of the final boss of the game instead, but for some reason I guess they decided to change that. I don't know if Hades would be a more appropriate boss than Necron, but Necron does kind of come out of nowhere anyway. So I guess it would be the same thing with Hades, but I suppose it was one of those things where they decided to change in the last minute, and instead Hades became an optional boss. Make sure that before you start the battle against the Kraken, it's important to make sure that all of your characters have the Body Temp ability equipped, because he likes to use freeze. And aside from that, he really isn't that hard to defeat. If you have ribbons equipped, then you will absorb water magic, and that will nullify Kraken's attacks, because he likes to use water gas, but that won't really do anything if you have a ribbon equipped. And aside from that, he really isn't tough, like I said. He has a couple of physical attacks when he has his tentacles remaining, but We're just going to target all of his body parts at the same time, so we'll destroy the tentacles quickly. He's weak to thunder magic, so fire away with Tandaga sword and summon Ramu, and the fight really won't take that long. And at this point, you don't even need to have Zidane steal. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but with the Kraken he really doesn't have anything that's worth it in my opinion, at least not in this point of the game. So if you want to speed up the fight, you can have Zidane attack as well. Ramu is dealing extra damage because Dagger has the boost ability equipped, which increases the power of the Eidolons. And as you can see, Tandaga's sword delivers heavy damage. Shock would deliver more damage, but it really doesn't matter because we finish off the Kraken very quickly. And I don't want to keep using Shock over and over. That was the best reward that he had to give us, honestly. And as you can see, he's trying to use freeze, but that won't work. Everyone is protected. Tentacles should be destroyed pretty soon. And there we go. They're going to disappear now. I guess the Kraken, we never got to see him when Dagger and Eiko visited the water shrine, so he was the only member of the 4 beasts that we didn't get to encounter, or the 4 guardians, whatever you want to call them. But as you can see, it really isn't that tough. None of them are, honestly. That won't really do anything. Everyone is protected against water magic. I don't think he'll last much longer. A couple more attacks should do him in. I do appreciate that we battle so many bosses in the final area. It's appropriate because the final area is supposed to be the hardest area of the game, so it makes sense. And I'm surprised that strike didn't do him in, but maybe this attack will. There we go. As you can see, he wasn't that tough. So we can keep moving. And we can battle another Phantom right above, but if you want you can switch your party members here and save your game. I'm not going to do so, but if you want, you might as well. And we're going to remove the ribbons from Vivian Steiner for now. And I guess I can go with this party. Actually, you know, I probably should use Eiko instead of Freya, because I'm going to use Freya for the final boss fight because of her dragon crest. That will really come in handy. So I might stick with Eiko instead. First let me give Amaranth a ribbon. And for the upcoming boss battle, it's important for you to be protected against earth magic. So you can have a Gaia's gear equipped that will nullify the damage that you receive from earth magic. Gaia gears actually absorb earth magic. So let's give Amaranth the circlet. And like I said, I'm going to switch Freya with Eiko because I don't know if I'll use Eiko again after this segment. I might, I don't know. I want to defeat the final boss quickly, so I know for a fact that I'm probably going to have Steiner and Freya in my party, and I don't know who else, probably Queen actually, because she can deliver the maximum amount of damage with Frog Drop, and Angel's Snack will come in handy if Necron uses Grand Cross. But first let's face this other phantom. There's only 2 more of them. And remember, this is completely optional. You don't really get anything even after defeating them. It's not like you get an achievement. But all of the phantoms have very rare cards that you can only obtain them when you challenge the phantom, so you might as well play them if you want to obtain all of the Tetramaster cards. But again, if Tetramaster simply isn't your thing, then don't bother with it, because it's really not worth it. It's a good thing that the AI kind of messes the location of the cards, and they don't really go for the best moves possible, otherwise I would have been in trouble here. But we won, and that's what matters. And I'm not going to play a rematch, that's for sure. So let's move on. And we're going to get Vivi's ultimate weapon after we climb up the steps. So Gaia was only formed 5,000 years ago. They evolved quickly. Well, clearly that wasn't the case and everyone in Terra died. But let's climb up the steps, and before you move further ahead, it's very important to make sure that all of your characters have the locomotion ability equipped, because the next boss that we're going to face likes to use stop. But before we do that, let's challenge the last phantom. He's right here in the corner, and on the other side you'll find Vivi's ultimate weapon. I believe this guy will always use the same element card, so it shouldn't be too problematic, honestly. All of his cards, I believe, will target magical defense, so that means that all of his cards, at least in this case, they will always have weak physical defense, so you can use physical cards to get the upper hand. But as you can see, we'll be just fine, honestly. It's a shame I almost managed to get that perfect score, and I would have obtained all of his dark matter cards, but to be fair, I don't need them. So let's get the Mace of Zeus. It's right here in the corner. And we're ready to go. Again, just remember, before you move forward into the next room, have the locomotion ability equipped. And the last Guardian, Lynch, he likes to use death attacks, so it's not a bad idea to have Auto-Live equipped. However, since I have Quina in my party, I'm going to have Quina cast Auto-Live on all of the party members, and if someone dies you can also have Amaranth use Revive on them, and not only will literally revive a party member, a fallen party member, but they will also get the Auto-Live ability. So aside from that, Lynch isn't really that hard. He likes to use level 5 death, so make sure that if you have a party member with a level that's divisible by 5, then make sure you level them up so that they are immune to level 5 death. And with the Gaia gears equipped, then Earth Magic won't do anything. Let's start by casting Auto-Live on Zidane, because why not? The Lynch can also use Doom, so with Doom, after a countdown of 10, the party member who gets attacked with Doom will be knocked out. But again, with Auto-Live will be fine, and Holy delivers heavy damage to him, so have Eiko cast Holy. I am surprised that he's so confident in his abilities, considering that the last time that we fought against him, Quina literally ate him, and I don't know how he managed to escape from Quina's stomach, and to be honest I don't want to think too much about it, but he seems quite confident in himself here, which is funny to say the least. You would think that as soon as he saw Quina he would run away. And I'm sorry I wasted a turn with Amaranth there, because again I forgot that a character needs to be knocked out in order for the Auto-Live ability to be activated when Amaranth casts Revive. And here he goes with level 5 death, but he'll be fine. It's completely a waste of a turn. And we don't really need to steal anything else from him, we already have what we needed, so let's have Zidane use Thievery to speed up this fight a little bit. Of course he would target the one character that I haven't managed to cast Auto-Live on, so poor Eiko got knocked out, but we'll take care of that in just a minute, unless we defeat him before we manage to revive Eiko. I expected him to do something like this. We're not going to give the Lynch the satisfaction of knocking out even one of our party members. I knew that wouldn't work, but I just thought it would be funny to scare the Lynch a little bit. because he was probably like, please not again. And managed to cast Doom on Quina. However, since Quina has the auto-live ability, even if Quina gets knocked out, Quina will be just fine. But we might be able to finish this fight before the timer reaches 0. So let's see. 1 second left for Quina, but there we go. Quina delivers the finishing blow, which is fitting because, well, it had to be Quina to defeat the Lynch. It just had to be because it makes perfect sense. I mean, he or she managed to eat the Lynch the first time around, and now, well, Quina delivers the finishing blow. In that pillar where I was walking around, if you manage to reach this area in 12 hours or less, you will find the Excalibur number 2. That's the most powerful weapon in the game for Steiner. But if you are doing a normal playthrough of Final Fantasy IX, and if you're not speeding through the game, you will not make it in time to reach the weapon, there's no way. But if for some reason you manage to reach this area in 12 hours or less, then the Excalibur number 2 will be next to that pillar for you to pick up. And we are done with Memoria. Now we're going to step into the Crystal World. So apparently Zidane can remember everyone's memories because every life had the same beginning, I guess. And that's why they can all remember each other's memories. That's quite an interesting concept. Like I said, Final Fantasy IX touches on subjects that I don't think any other Final Fantasy games bothered with. I guess it's one of the reasons why I like Final Fantasy IX. I kind of pity Garland in the end because he was just created as a kind of a supervisor, really. But apparently, I guess he enjoyed his job or something. I mean, he was still a bad guy, don't get me wrong, because he's responsible for the death of a bunch of people. But nonetheless, to be created solely to be a monitor of the merging of Terra and Gaia seems kind of boring. Anyway, in this final area we will battle crystal versions of the 4 Guardians, but they're much weaker, so you don't really need to worry, even though they use mostly the same attacks. But like I said, their health points aren't really all that great, so we'll be able to finish off this fight in a couple of turns. That won't do a lot of damage. see it didn't take long at all. They're much weaker than their boss forms. And now we can keep advancing. But that's going to be the end of this segment, my friends. I'm just going to save my game before the true final area, where we will have 3 more boss battles and then the game will be over. We just have to witness the ending cutscene. So the last part of my walkthrough will be the last. As always, thank you so much for watching this segment. I hope you found it useful, and I will see you all later for the final part of Final Fantasy IX. Take care, my friends.